right? Now, you have to imagine that the light, so the sun, okay? All right? The sun, it's coming from the left, higher corner. And the direction is this one. This is important to understand what's going on. All right? Now, let's make that section in perspective. And let's do it. Okay, let's imagine that this is our rear view mirror triangle, okay? I'm making very schematic, very simple, but after we will do something that will be more complicated. So when we see a section that is so straight, you see, very geometric like this one, you can imagine that we do this, look. Then I will take a darker gray, okay? Then we will take another gray, which is going to be a little bit darker. So that you understand why, I will explain to you why I'm doing this. Then I will go back, now that it's dry, I will take again my blue, light blue I used before, and I will hit again the section of the side body to make a little bit darker in the area that is a little bit more in shadow, which is this one. Okay. Now that you see this, you realize right away which is the surface with the light and which is the surface that is a little bit in shadow. So the true color of this car is this one. But this is the part that is altered by the light. That's why it's lighter and it's not the true color. Okay? But like this, you can see, okay, that we have a three-dimensional section in perspective. And now I'm going to put also the highlights. And the highlights go always on top. Okay, now I wash my brush. Okay, so this is a very simple, how can I say, simple explication, okay, about how the light and the shadow and the reflections behave on a body, on a side body that is very geometrical. And it's very normal because the light is coming from the top, this surface is facing the sun, therefore it becomes lighter. This one is facing the horizon, okay, horizon, and therefore has the real color. Then there is always a shading, you see? There is a shading from dark to light, you see? And this is important. This is something that you must have in your sketches when you draw reflections. And here there is also a little shading, just very light one, from here, dark, light. And the part that is closer to the sun or to the light source should be a little bit darker, because this creates depth and contrast. Okay? So did you get this first part? So if I want to add I don't know, a section here, okay, that is in shadow, which means like this. Do you see what I'm drawing? So this part, the top part, has to be darker, because that one is really in shadow. Then here we can go again with our marker, just to increase the contrast. We can take a little bit of our gray and we hit the shadow part. You see? Then we take our white and we put another nice highlight on top of that surface. You see? And now we changed it. Okay, so this is a very simple example, okay? And now we do another example, but this time we're gonna make it one that is a little bit more complicated, okay? So we move from those cars with a very basic section, and we will go to something that is a little bit more modern. So I take this away, this one too, and let's again sketch our section, okay? So if we have a glass that is much more rounded, you see, like today's car, more spherical, you know, as a section, and a little bit more inclinated, then we have our section where the sheet metal starts, okay? Okay, do you see? So this one, it's a completely different section. If we see what we did before, you know, very schematic. Wait. I do a little section just like if I were an engineer. All right. Okay. And now we have this one. Okay, let's put this in perspective. All right, so now you can see that we have this new side body section. And now things are changed. We are not anymore like before. Because here, this is a real cylinder. You see? This is a part of a cylinder. All right? Then we have a little bit of flat spot just a little bit of flat spot. And then we have another cylinder here. I draw the section so that it's clear for you. Then we have a break here. And we have those two shapes, which is a combination of three cylinders, two small ones, and a big one, which is this one, big one, small one, big one. So, okay, so I'm drawing the reflections. So what happens is that when we have a cylinder, the shape we have breaks the reflection. Every time that the shape is turning, the reflection will never follow that turn, that radius. Will never do it. It will stop before. So if we look at our cylinder, this is the point before it starts turning. Do you understand what I mean? So this is the breaking point for our reflection. This pen, it's a big, soft feel medium. It's a big. You find it on Amazon. I just bought a pack, so I'm gonna receive it very soon. It's good because it's not bleeding too much. On this paper, it's perfect. So you understand, this is the breaking point, and that's why I'm drawing my reflections here. Then we have another reflection here because this is in real shadow, and also because the orientation of this section, it's so bended inside that is making like a mirror from what is down here on the ground. So this one is taking reflection from the ground. This one is taking reflection from the horizon. So let's take again our magic blue and let's see what happens once we apply the real color. Okay? So because this is a real light, you remember, as we did here, I will be very light with my marker. All right? Because I want to have this light. Then this color will be here. And this part, darker, will be here. Okay? I show you. Okay, now I let it dry, okay? I let it dry. Because if I don't do it, it's gonna be a mess. After, we'll talk also about the reflection on the glass. My marker is almost dead. Okay, I take again my light blue, okay? Let's do here. And then let's do this part here. Yeah, Pro Marker, they are not really excellent, I have to admit. In fact, I will not use them anymore. I'm waiting that they will completely run off. So what am I doing here? This is called the core. The part where the radius, where we have the radius, it's called the core. Okay? And the core is where there is a concentration of the sky and also the color of the car. It's where it looks like it's getting around, you know. You can see there are a lot of car sketches that they have it. Wait a second, because I will show you one. Wait, don't move. I'll go and search for a nice sketch in which I have a nice core. Yes, I have it. Look, this one. You see? Like a photograph, I have to search for it. I didn't print any. This is the core. Here. That's where it's bending. You see? This is the radius part. And here there is a core. You see? The darkest part of the air There is a big concentration of the air. Same thing here. You see? Same thing here. And also here. You see the big radius, you know? Reflection, radius with the core. Reflection, and the core on top. You see? The core here. Because this is bending. It's the part where the bumper is bending on the other side. And there is always a shading. Dark, light. You see? Dark, light. Dark, light. Dark, light. Dark, light. Dark, light. 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 And darker here. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to do here. Because I don't have the chalk, I will do it with the marker, which is a little bit more complicated. And now I will take the gray, and I make that reflection that is really in shadow darker. You see? And I can do the same thing, very light, on top of my core here to create that effect of shading. And I will do the same thing here. In the first part, so that I create that dark light I showed you before on my sketch. So what I'm doing now, I'm just putting all those reflections of what is in front of this car. We might have trees, I don't know. Victor, I learned this at school, and since then it got stamped into my head. So, but the core, I make a sketch here. Look, if our reflection is here, here we have our core. You see? Reflection, core. Maybe if I explain like this, it's easier to understand. And the reflection highlights goes always here. Highlights here and also in the core because of the contrast. Okay, let's go back to this one. Now, if we have on the ground something that has a different color, okay, like very light, I don't know, light green, like something like this, okay? Imagine that we have this, okay? This green. So what do? We take a color, all right? Well, I don't have really the green color, but maybe I can do this. And put some reflections there, you see? Very light, so that you have that reference. The green is there because it's picking up the color from the ground, which is green, according to the section orientation. Okay, now that we did this, let's go back to to the top glass, because here we have a reflection, but we have also the transparency. So in transparency, we have a part of the triangle. You see, this plastic part is inside. We have the other part that is inside of the beginning of the door panel. Then we have a little part that we can see of the dashboard, which is this one. With the steering wheel. So those things, we have to draw them. How do? We take a darker marker, like this one, and we just draw them. But in this area that there is, it's lighter, means that there is some light reflection. We don't do much, only in the darkest area, like here. And of course, it will be always shading, dark light. So basically, what do? We give just few indications, okay? So that the eye, the head, we will complete. It's like an optical illusion, you know? You see, I'm creating the real reflection. Can you see it? No, this is through the glass. And to make sure that now we can see the effect of this reflection, we need the white pencil. This white pencil is a Faber-Castell white soft, okay? This is very important. This is soft. So I will use a sweep, this one, you know, to make a clean line. You see how nice that line? Really nice. I'm trying to be a little bit precise because this is the best way to do things with a little bit more quality. And now with the pencil, with the white pencil, I just make that little glare reflection of the light on the glass. I see and I don't see, you see? Now, the last thing that we want to do, and we will do, it's the reflection. So the first reflection, it's on the glass. So it's going to be here. It's always like an ellipse, okay? It's never a dot. It's always like an ellipse. The little dot is when it's super small, like here, you see? Or like here, you see? Then we have to make the reflection on the top of this. So first I put some white, and after I'll put the highlight. And the highlight is always in line with this one, you see? It's gonna follow this type of orientation. It's not, you cannot put the highlights right and left the way you want. They must follow, you know, they must follow. Okay, the second highlight, it's here. In the core. And the last one, it's onto the reflection of the body, of the side body. This one here. Okay. Look, it looks nice. Isaac, the area that is closer to the light source, it's a little bit darker, just a little bit, with a shading effect, because you need contrast. It creates depth and contrast. If you put against the light source the light part, they will look the same. And also in reality it's like that. It's called the theory of reflections. Okay, that's our triangle. You see, I'm making that part really dark because it's turning. You see? Okay, what do you think, guys, so far? Did you understand the principle? A matte surface is very simple. I will show you. Okay, let's make let's make a sphere, okay? And let's make it matte. I will search for a better marker because I need a good marker to do this. I cannot use a marker that is a little bit dry. So let me search. I'm searching for my marker. There you go. I think this one is okay. Let me try. Yes. Okay, so I'm using a gray marker, number 2, chart pack. This is better quality. Okay, so this is the base, okay? Let's say we don't have reflections here. But because it is a sphere, okay, we know that in this area we will have, you know, the part that will be in shadow because it is a round and this is the breaking point for the reflection. So where the shadow will start. So let's do it. Okay, now I need another marker, a little bit darker. Let's see if I can find a number 3 or number 4. Number 3. Let's see if it works. This is too dark, not good. Let's see this one. Sometimes there are surprises, you know. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so then I go back with my you see, I'm trying to create a shading. Then I go with a little bit of black, okay? I will do it very quick so that you get a really good idea of this shading. Now the bottom part is in shadow, so I make this a little bit darker. And a little bit the top part, just a little bit. You see that line on top is much thinner, not very strong like the bottom part. Okay, now let's make the shadow. All right? But the contrast, Vinay, it's because that's the theory of lights. I know that this is the core, you see? And the core is the darkest part of our object. Now, because we do not have reflection, because this is a matte surface, all the dark part is concentrated here where we used to have the reflection. And then we have a little bit of core on top, you see, from here, but very, very light. And the spot of the highlight, it's this one, this clear area here. Here at the bottom, it goes from dark to a little bit light because the sphere is turning. So now this part is facing the where it's the table. Let's say that this is a table, okay? So now what I'm doing here, and you probably understood already, I'm doing a little bit of the reflection of that shadow. You see? Which is very dark because it's black. Do you see the reflection? It's not a reflection. It's the shadow of the shadow inside the object. I don't know if I expressed myself well. And now, if I take a yellow, okay, and let's suppose that our base here it's a little bit yellow, just a little bit, okay. You see? Can you see the yellow? Okay, so now we have that yellow, which is the sunlight. Let's say it is the sunlight, okay? All this, guys, comes from school, huh? It's a theory of reflections. Okay, so now that we... Okay, I'm sorry. I got a problem. I hope it's gonna be back. I don't know, guys. Please let me know if you can see. You can see now. I think it's. I need somebody to tell me if you can see, because I'm lost. Okay, okay, good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got another phone call. So anyway, this is the last part. I hope that until now everything is clear. Okay. Now imagine that we have. This is something cool. Imagine that we have something that is a little bit orange here, you see? Like this. Like that. Okay? Well, what we will have is exactly a reflection of that color on our matte surface. All right. I hope that this kind of explanation was clear for you. You see? Because here we really see that our sphere is really round. Now let's put the highlight. In this case, there will be only one highlight here. All right. So, what do you think? Is it clear to you? You know, all the things I told you about this sketch here, about the sphere, you have to go and probably listen again. You should go back to this video once that is online, and you should check all those steps. Because, you know, what you see here, it's very, very similar, oops, what we did here. It's not that different. The only difference is that we have reflections here, and here we don't. But next Tuesday we will keep on doing this, okay? Don't worry. This is just part one about reflection, because it takes time. And then let's not forget the beginning, which was our very simple shape that comes from the cube, you know. The cube, it's answering to this type of theory of reflections. Okay, so we did this. We did this, a little bit more complicated. And then we did a matte, okay, a matte sphere to show really how it works. Now, thank you very much for your attention. We have been together an hour and 10 minutes, okay? I hope you liked it. Please subscribe if you're not, if you didn't do it yet. Share this video once it will be online. And thank you very much for your help and for being here with me for this hour. It was really cool and